Ella McCauley, I pray it off in Syracuse, New York. When you're feeling shame, you say, what's wrong with me? And you know, sometimes there is something wrong with you. If you are struggling losing weight and you're exercising and eating healthy, well, maybe you have a lower metabolism. Maybe you're getting older. We all have, as I said, a little different journey. Does your slower journey make anything to be ashamed of? It's just what it is, okay? And then a lot of us who have felt shame in our lives feel we have to be people pleasers to get everyone to like us. Maybe they won't notice that my father drinks and I have a disabled sister and I live in the worst house on the street if I'm a people pleaser. Maybe if I try to get on the high honor roll and graduate top of my class and be in every single club and do every single thing, maybe they won't notice that we're not rich. But the thing is, when I started on that journey, I actually kind of liked it. I have a high energy level, so it wasn't really a struggle. But now I'm 70, and sometimes I just want to sit there and read a book and do nothing else. And I've been doing it lately. And it feels a little scary. What am I doing? I'm just reading, I'm not exercising, I'm not doing anything. Oh. And I feel sometimes I have to justify my own existence. Anyone else feel that way? You got to say, oh, I wake up, I get up, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do it, do it, do it, do it. And God doesn't say that. God says, rest on the Sabbath, rest. Jesus would go off and pray. Jesus would take care of himself. He gave us permission to take care of himself. And you know, it's also interesting when you have some shame in your life, you tend to be dishonest because you don't want to disappoint people. That was never one of mine, but I know a couple of people that had difficult childhoods and then they have difficulty with the truth. Also, people sometimes hide their behavior. It's like, what if I was reading a book and Bob walked around the corner and saw me and I hurried up and hid the book? God forbid he see me relaxing. But I remember I had a friend and she was eating strawberry shortcake with a ton of whipped cream, and there was a knock on the door and a guy she was recently dating was there. She goes, who is it? And he goes, Rob. And she goes, I'll be right there. She takes the strawberry shortcake and she throws it in the cupboard and she shuts the door. She found it 2 months later. And she saw this black thing in a bowl and she's like, what is that? But God forbid Rob see her eating strawberry shortcake. People do that sometimes. Anyone ever sneak food in their desk at work or head over there and kind of hide a candy bar? Okay, or they buy a dozen. You can always tell the people who have an issue when they're always buying donuts for work. Hey, I brought in a dozen donuts. Oh, no, I'm not going to have any, because they ate 2 in the car. You know what I mean? So they can look very thin. Oh, no, I wanted them for everybody else. And they're driving, eating those donuts. Okay. So what I was saying is that shame can be a master emotion, or we can take a hold of it and deal with it. I want you to read these articles because they're very powerful. We can know, a couple people said, oh, I like that you've got these little pants underneath the dress. Now, there's an answer I could say, thank you. Instead, I say, well, my legs are so fat that I like to squeeze them in these pants so they don't fall. Why do you have to diminish yourself? You can just say, thank you. We do not need to say bad things about ourselves, okay? So, we also have to understand that yo-yo dieting isn't part of a healthy journey. That we need to try and either stay the same or maybe gain 1 pound, lose 1 pound, that's okay. But it's not healthy to gain 5 pounds, lose 7 pounds. So we need to really pay attention to our bodies. I also have a new recipe in here called sheet pan chicken caprese, and it looks really good because you can buy all this stuff at Wegmans. You can get lemon garlic marinated chicken breast. You can get, people are starting to talk, everyone out there, because we're talking about food. There's pesto, there's mozzarella, and there's bruschetta. Take a look at that. I'm going to stop right there, Bobby.